Hi guys, how's it going? In this video we'll continue to work on our application and we'll start building some of the task controllers, start adding some tasks to the existing projects and so forth. So let's go ahead and log in. So last time what we established was everything to do with the projects, where we can add a new project, and as well we can see all the project listings, we can hide them, we can mark them complete, and we can drill inside a project to see what's the description and what are the tasks. Now right now this task button doesn't fire anything because we haven't set up anything yet. That's our next obvious step. So before we do that, there's something I want to share with you guys. So basically, if I open up, give me a second, if I open up another browser, there was an issue with the for example, I open up Safari, and in Safari, if I go to my app, and try to log in, the JavaScript fires the model windows in Firefox and Safari. The JavaScript, basically the GitHub repo that we downloaded in one of the first few videos. So if you try to press new project, it works in Chrome as well. But this model window, I have found that it doesn't work in Chrome, but it works in every other browser. So basically, as you can see, it's not working right now. So but if we go here, the reason it's not working is because there's a bit of code we need to implement. It's conflicting with other libraries probably. So what we'll do is we'll try to open our GitHub repo by going to this link. And in the GitHub repo, you go to public folder. I've already updated this bug fix for model window not opening in Chrome. And then go to JavaScript, and then open up this all.js. Give it a second, it'll open up. And sorry about that, I didn't notice that in Firefox, I use Firefox a lot and it was working fine. But then one of the subscribers told me that it doesn't work in Chrome, and then I had a look and I found that yeah, it is conflicting. The $alias of jQuery is conflicting with possibly some other library I must have included before. So let's go to raw, and you can download the whole thing and replace whole thing like whole GitHub repo, but I'm just going to copy this raw file, and I'm going to open up the editor and then go to public JavaScript, which is all.js, open up, and then select all, and then you can delete it and then paste. That way you know that it has done the job, and save it. And then when you come back to Chrome and you refresh, hopefully the edit button will start firing up the window this time. And it does work, it just takes a little bit of time. So give it a second. For example, edit. What it does is, behind the scene, it's running an AJAX request to retrieve all this project's by its slug. So if you look at the developer tools, and then you go to the for example, you go to the network, and then you press edit. I'll show you, just give me a second. Well, let's go to the console. So for example, you can see here I have to remove this option. I don't need this option. And now okay, so when I press this button, what it does is it detects what's the current URL and what's the current ID being passed, the project ID, and it will also capture the slug which is in the hidden input field in this form here in the inside the edit button, and it's going to prepare the URL with this slug, and then it's going to query the whole data set for us, which is going to be pre-filled in this edit window. Well, if you copy and paste this all.js file, your model windows will start working in any browser. Now essentially what it does is basically you go here, so you look for .edit model, and if you see here, I have added jQuery.noConflict method, which is going to protect this $alias. So that's all it is, and sorry about that. So this will fix that previous bug. Now we'll start working on a task controller. Now what happens in task controller is basically we go in the show view. Let's take a look at the project, go inside. Now here you can see we don't have any tasks. This is the project's homepage. This is the, we have drilled inside one of the projects, so it's showing the breadcrumb by project slug, and then we have to add some of the tasks. Now this button doesn't fire anything, so that means we have to go to show.blade. So let's open up show.blade, and then in the show.blade we have basically what we have is everything else is set up. All we need is the model window. Now in this currently we don't have we have the button, and we have in the standard file we have model window for creating a project, we have a model window for editing a project, but unfortunately we don't need these two because we are already inside a project. We don't want to create a new project, we want to create a new task. So that's what we're going to be modifying. So we're going to say here create tasks, but obviously this model window doesn't exist yet. We're going to have to create one, and then we're going to say edit tasks. How easy is that? And then next step is to basically go and create them, and then inside the pages, inside projects, inside the projects we will have a model folder, and model folder has create and edit folders. In the create, we'll open the projects.blade and just save it as task.blade. Task.blade. Once you have it, then it'll already open as task.blade. So what it does basically, you can give it an idea of create projects. Instead of create projects, change it to create tasks, and then role is dialog and model and fade. Make sure to use this ID because that's what we're going to be using when we fire. So for example, in the show.blade, when we click create a new project, create a new task, it's going to fire create tasks. So whatever ID, whatever href tag you place here has to reflect here. And then what we want to do essentially is we are going to use a post method, and we're going to be posting to the task controller, and we will have to use an array because we are passing in the project slug here. Now why we are passing in this project slug is because a project has many tasks. So we have a binding here, an eloquent relationship. For example, if we go to tasks table, it references a project ID foreign key on projects, the ID on projects, which means we're going to need the project instance, which project instance we are trying to attach it to. So because we have this relationship in our database, and also we have this relationship set up in our task model, a task belongs to a project, and a project has many tasks. Now we set up these relationships long ago. This is the time to make use of those relationships. Let's finish up this model window, and we'll come back to we'll come back to it. We'll fix some of the things in the routes we need to fix. So add a new task, and then we can say here we have to include a form for a project. We can include a form Now we can probably use same form again over and again, but I like to explicit, that way you can customize the placeholders, you know, and it's only going to be a few, 2-3 forms, not so many. And then here you can say you can use, you know, button, or you can use anchor tag. Make sure to give it a class of submit button. As long as this class exists, your JavaScript will fire, and then everything else just remains the same. There's no change. Let's see if we find, and that, and that, and then this. I'm just trying to look for indentation if everything else is like fine. So we have here and here and here. This div is closing here. I haven't closed this div yet, so maybe there's a slight mistake. So this div here has an anchor tag. I'm gonna indent this, and then it ends here. Inside that is another div, which is going to look like this. So everything is good. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, we're gonna save it. Now we have used here pages, projects, forms, tasks, but I think we don't have one: pages, projects, forms, and tasks. So that's our next obvious step. So we can, instead of forms.tasks, we can say task. We always create one task at a time. So we will open up, and again we'll speed up our development by saving some bit of code. Just call it task because I removed tasks from there. Yeah, it's the same old, you know, form. There's nothing special going on here except that we have the placeholder is going to be task name instead of project name. And let's just copy this and replace here, and that's it pretty much, I guess. So it's going to be the same way. We're going to be filling up the task description and task due date, and yeah, so that's good. That's all we need to do here. Let's just close it and save it, and let's just close it and save it, and this should start firing our model window because we have already done that. Okay, let's go ahead and refresh and see if it can find all the views, and see if it fires up the model window. And it looks like it's not, as you can see. So let's go back and debug it. So it says create tasks, and here we have here is create tasks model, which is models create tasks. It has create tasks ID like so. So basically task controller at store project slug. Yeah, so everything else looks fine. I have no idea. So maybe I forgot to save it here. It's so sometimes because I use PHP Storm a lot, and in the PHP Storm I don't need to save. It just saves with every keystroke, you know, after a certain delay of like 300 milliseconds. So it starts working now. So what happened was that I didn't save this file. So make sure when you use Sublime, just keep pressing save. I can use a plugin, probably a plugin like autosave, but that just puts a lot of load on the resources on my development machine. Anyway, so there was nothing wrong. Your app should be working. If you saved your app, you know, it should be already working. So it's firing up. We have task name, task description, and task due date, and our date picker plugin should start firing up straight away, and there's no problem with that. So in this video we created this model window. In the next video we'll start working on some of the routes and start posting this data to the task controller, and let's try to see when we receive a request from this this form, how we can use that data to update our relationships in the database. So thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe and like and share this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.